Hello and welcome back to Ben and Mike's Film Room, and we just saw Ant-Man.
Yes, we did. In two parts.
Yes, because the other night
I was sleepy.
and I was sleepy, but I did not let it show.
So, this movie is fun.
Yes.
Do
Agreed.
you remember having fun when you first watched it?
Yes, I do. It was, aside from Guardians, this one out of the gate was kind of advertised as a comedy, you know? Which you could argue Guardians was also, but from the marketing of Guardians, all I remember is that they had, like, strange song choices, or they seemed strange at the time, which indicated that it wouldn't have the same feel. But this one definitely had jokes in the trailer instead of playing up the drama.
And I think for me at the time, I was mostly curious how on earth Paul Rudd was going to be a superhero.
Yeah, that guy from...
And he just Paul Rudds it up.
Yeah, what was that movie he was in? Do we know? 10.
Paul Rudd.
You know, that one movie where it's about the girl, and she's rich, and she has an iPad closet. Clueless, got it. Okay.
Oh, Clueless.
We definitely didn't look up the movie.
No, we just knew it. I totally forgot about him. He always just wore shirts that were way too big in that movie.
I don't know. All I
and
know
they
is
were
that
related?
they
So
were,
weird.
They were step-siblings, I think, technically.
Not related by blood.
So, doesn't count. Bad. The 90s were weird.
It's based on a book, that's why.
The 80s were weird.
All the times are weird. Speaking of which...
This movie is good.
Yeah, it doesn't connect at all, but it's true. It was... I had a lot of fun. I remember having a good time in theaters watching it. I remember...
This is the best shrinking movie in the past 10 years.
It's of the shrinking genre. This is top tier.
And we're back.
I said I don't want, and we're back.
You're leaving that now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So yeah, this movie was good. Best shrinking movie in the past 15 years. 10
You
years.
just said 10.
15, why not? How many are there, Ben?
I mean, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
When did
The
that
one-
come out?
I don't know.
Exactly.
The one in the 50s where they went in the spaceship that shrunk down and went inside the human body?
Yeah, 50s.
I think it was in the 50s. I don't know anything about those.
My point in saying the 50s is that it's not in the past 15 years.
Truth. So, let's get into the summary of the movie. I have drafted a beautiful summary, I think. In honesty, it does depend on you having watched the movie, though. This is not a summary for people who've never seen the movie. If you want that, go read Wikipedia or IMDb.
Granted, we haven't done this very long, this podcasting biz, but if you're just jumping in now for some reason, an Ant-Man of all movies.
Oh, I've really wanted to know what these two think about Ant-Man. Not any of the other movies, but number 12 in the... Oh, no, what number is it? 15, 14, 17, 19?
It's 12, Benjamin.
I can't count. No, it's 13 in your face.
It's
Because
the
the
12th.
retrospective counted in the count. Moving on.
My point is that it's going to be standard for us to... What is standard? It's going to be standard for you to have seen the movie, at least have good memory of it to understand this.
You don't have to have just watched it, but we're going to talk about very specific
You
details in the movie.
you could have read the novelized version of it.
The novelized they make those. I always forget about those.
I know they make them for Star Wars. I know that.
Who are they for?
I don't know. Apparently, like there's things that they say about Snoke in those books.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. But anyway, this movie by Disney.
So it begins in the past in 1989. Ant-Man,
Ant-Man Senior.
Ant-Man Senior is mad at Iron Man Senior because he doesn't want to make his clearly a weapon.
A weapon.
Sort of like the beginning of Iron Man 2, but he's far more righteous than Iron Man was. So
And then we're in the Cold War.
it was the coldest of wars, and no, didn't want to share it. Why was the year specifically set? in the
I,
movie?
I don't know. Maybe with a believable. I'll tell you why. It probably has something to do with Civil War and a certain death.
Hey,
Yep.
on board.
Probably something
On
with
board.
that. Probably something with that.
So we cut to the present. Ant-Man.
He's in prison.
Not actual Ant-Man. Scott Lang.
Scott Larn.
The future Ant-Man, or Paul Rudd man. He is in a fight in prison, and it's
But
like
it's
a
a going away fight.
Yeah, because every prison does that. And he's hunting for a job, and it cuts to him
In
wearing-
Baskin-Robbins.
In Baskin-Robbins. It's a fun scene.
This guy wants to get a burger or a pretzel or something fresh and hot.
Yeah, and he's like,
Like, and
"Hey, could you take care of this idiot?"
And the thing
It's
is,
pretty
like,
funny.
he looks like some weird, like, I feel like I've seen this baby-faced extra before.
He's
in something.
He's the son in Son of Zorn.
Oh my goodness.
That's the only thing I've ever seen him
I
in.
could have sworn, like, watching this movie the first time in theaters. That's all my history with the movie, that I saw it in theaters.
Now and in the theaters.
That and the when Shrinking into the Quantum Realm blew my mind.
Mm.
Yes. I haven't seen a lot of crazy sci-fi things. Anyway.
So
But
when you watched it, you thought of this kid. And you
Babyface
said-
McGee? No.
Oh.
But yes, continuing on, he gets his employer, Baskin-Robbins, found out that he was...
Baskin-Robbins always finds out.
Yes.
So he sadly gets a creepy bunny and goes to a birthday party.
Where did he get the bunny?
At the gas station or something. Isn't that what that was said?
They said nothing.
It's just implied. But the daughter loves it because it's hideous. So clearly he knows what his daughter's about. Or she's just so misses her dad that she
Clearly
doesn't
her
care what the
favorite
gift
film is Coraline.
No, that's not a freaky toy. They don't have freaky dolls in Coraline.
My point is she likes freaky things, Coraline. That was my connection.
That's
Anyway,
it? Okay.
but before that, there was a Yellow Jacket conference where they showed this little, where they show this video of what the Yellow Jacket can do, and one of the investors is like, so it's a suit. And like, what if this falls into the hands of our enemies? And I'm like,
The dumbest idea ever.
like, isn't that the nature of war and technology, the arms race?
I mean, it's like, oh, we have this weapon. It's so strong and it's so helpful in battle.
We
What if
can't-
the bad guy gets it? You're
Sure.
like, then you both have really strong weapons?
Mutual deterrent?
Yeah.
Isn't that how nukes work?
Yeah, mutual
Assured
destruction.
Assured disputation.
Mutual Asian.
Okay, anyway, so the birthday party, that we just talked about that.
So, Scott is bummed out about the party. He owes a ton of money for child support,
Yeah, and he has...
which is usually linked to how much you make, so this doesn't make a ton of sense. But he owes a lot of money.
Well,
and
now,
so he
now
decides
he'll never see her because he has no job.
he has no job. And, so
like,
he's trying to make some money quick, and so he decides to do this one job with the old guy in the safe, and the fun bongos kick in. And
which, it should be stated that this movie was originally going to be directed by Edgar Wright, if you did not know.
And I think when we get to the good things part of the pod, we should talk about that way more in depth.
Yeah, let
me write a note. Note Roten.
Anyway, so yeah, Louise does his fast talking thing that we all know.
And in it, everybody looks like they're talking
Like he
with
does.
his voice. It's fun.
I feel like everyone's at least seen that scene on YouTube.
Well, anybody who's interested, yeah.
So after that, he does the job. There's also this Scandinavian guy, or like some European person.
I thought he was Russian.
Who knows? Isn't that
No
Europe?
one
Isn't
can
that
know.
Europe?
Well, Russia's technically in Europe, but come on, it's also Asia. You ever played Risk?
No.
Never played Risk?
No. Why would I ever play that game?
World domination.
It's like saying, haven't you ever played Cards Against Catan? What is it? Settlers of Catan?
No. It's older than that.
Loser. So anyway, they do the heist, which I don't remember if we looked this up, but he uses, like, he has to get through something.
gets
And-
through the safe and he freezes it.
Yeah, but before that, he has to use a thumbprint on a
Oh, and
scanner.
he gets some tape.
He gets like
and
some kind of metal ring and gets some glue.
Glue.
Heats it over a gas stove.
yeah, to
which-
soften it up.
Yes, or harden the glue.
Well, it'll harden in a second. It's just soft enough to take a print.
Yeah,
Science.
that's how glue works. Don't you know anything about science?
This is clearly a
That-
very sciencey movie.
You should
so-
know that's from a Marvel comic where Hitler says that.
Hitler said, "Don't you know anything about science?"
Or some Nazis or some Germans.
Oh man.
I watch this guy who reviews comics. That's why I know that. So yeah, he gets the suit. Thinks the motorcycle suit. Takes it for some reason.
Puts it on for some reason.
Puts it on for some reason. Clicks buttons on the suit for some reason.
and
Stands in the bathtub.
he hides in there because he doesn't want other people to see him in the suit. It doesn't matter. He
Also,
needs a place to shrink.
please note he did not lock the door. Because then Louise comes in to take a poo.
Yeah, he did. What the heck? Anyway, so one thing leads to another, and he ends up in jail
It should be noted that
after he tried to give the suit back.
It should be noted that when he falls onto the hood of a random person's car, that random person originally played Ant-Man in the SNL sketch featuring all the superheroes.
Wow, that's pretty.
They got that actor.
Wow, we did it.
Yes, us
So-
too. We figured out the greatest mystery.
We've solved the world's mysteries. Well, there's another mystery that happens in a few seconds in the plot. Ants
Oh,
appear
yes.
with a countdown because they're being coordinated to count.
Yeah, so
and from the number 9 to
Well-
the number 4.
well, hold on.
Just
So he goes to return the suit to the house, breaks back into it, and then he's caught.
goes to jail.
And then Hank Pym goes to him and says, "Hey, I got an opportunity for you." And eventually he's like, "You'll know what to do," or like, "More instructions will follow," or something. So he gets sent back to his cell, and the ants deliver him a microsuit that they eventually make big. And then the ants start making their countdown from 10 to 0, but he sees 10. He then sees 9. And
Cut
then
away.
we cut away, and then we cut back to him wearing the suit, and it has 4 seconds left.
He put the suit on in 5 seconds.
Yeah. What? That is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Definitely added to nitpicks for later. So
I believe it's nitpicks for now.
He follows instructions like Morpheus does to Neo in The Matrix. And
How do you even know
and
that?
I watched The Matrix.
Interesting.
It was on television.
Oh, that's why.
I recorded it on VHS.
Oh my
I
goodness,
watched it several
Benjamin.
times.
Recently?
No, it's been a long time. Anywho, they regroup, or he wakes up at Hank Pym's house. He's like, "Hey man, you gotta do this thing or you go to jail." And he's like, "Okay, better than not going to jail." And he learns how to fight and control the ants, and learns that if you shrink too far, you disappear for eternity. And
Also,
go ahead.
also forgot to mention. Well, actually, she appears right about now.
Hope.
But Hope is in here, played by Kate from Lost, which is what I know her from, and she's also in the Hobbit movies as Legolas's sister.
I think
They're
everyone's related in there, but no.
I don't know. I've only seen the first 2 movies. I saw the first movie in theaters, and I saw most of the second one in theaters. I fell asleep. It was a long movie.
Toriel had a lot of feelings for a hobbit.
Yes. Anyway,
But
so
that aside, she has almost no feelings in this movie, so they kind of even out.
except some kind of demon power with the ants, where she's covering the lamp, and it's like, Hope,
Yeah,
stop!
it doesn't make any sense. You're like, stop your power! It's too much!
The ants are too strong.
They can lift over 50 times their own
They
weight.
can. You can't do this. You can't put that many sugar cubes in the tea. It'll go south.
So great. So he gains skills. Meanwhile, we cut to bad guy. Bad guy is
testing his
testing
own
on lambs.
testing
on
his own-
baby sheep.
testing his own shrinky dink powers.
Oh man, the Shrinky Dink power totally doesn't work. He already melted a guy into goop. Like a tiny little booger's worth of goop.
Yep.
And
Well, a fairly large booger's worth of goop.
yeah, but he had to wipe it up. He's thoughtful, you know.
No, he isn't.
I mean, it would
I'm
have
so
almost
thoughtful
been better.
that after I murder someone, I will then clean up their goop. That was a very good squeaking
What
sound.
can I say? It's my one skill. So there's the sheep, and he says the dumbest thing ever. Hope's like, I thought we were testing on mice.
It's like, what's the difference?
And so this guy clearly cannot tell the difference between sheep and mice. Mice are way cheaper, first
yeah,
of all.
yeah.
And clearly less cute. I mean, mice are
Well,
cute,
also-
but come on.
I mean, to be fair, mice are already pretty small. How small can they get?
What?
Before
It
you...
doesn't work unless
like-
the animal is big.
Like, what if you shrink an ant?
I mean,
what do you
could
do
test-
then?
Why not? Yeah. You could shrink literally anything. Why not a plant? Why not like a freaking fern? Or a bean sprout or some wheatgrass or something. Why does it have to be a sheep? That's stupid. Anywho, they all get ready for the heist. They learn all the details of the building and how they're gonna get in, and there's some lasers and whatever. And then the bad guy appears at Hank Pym's house, and he's like,
Blah, bad, I'm gonna kill you.
"You're
but
the
then-
worst. I could kill you in this house, but
and
I
I'm,
won't for no
and I
reason."
dressed like a woman here.
He was dressed like a woman.
He wasn't, but he was wearing, though, a coat with a belt. He was wearing a jacket.
It did have a belt.
It was.
I think it was supposed to be like a tactical kind of cool belt.
I swear, Black Widow has worn those type of jackets.
Okay, hold everything. We looked it up. We couldn't find anything like anyone else has ever thought of this idea, but we swear the belt he wears on the jacket when the villain Darren Cross goes to confront Hank Pym, it looks just like a jacket Scarlett Johansson wears.
Yes.
That's all. That's all I had.
That is all. So after that, they commence with the heist
Oh man, and it looks like it's doing so great. They totally heist it.
until they don't.
Until the very end. Haha, they were caughted.
They were coat.
They like a coat with a belt.
Yes, it's all coming round the circle.
And so there's a big fight, and there's a chase, and there's a tank. It gets grown and blown up so they can escape the building, and bad guy flies away in a helicopter with the jacket, I guess.
Oh, we
and
forgot to mention there were Hydra there.
Hydra, for no reason. He's like, these guys are Hydra. I'm gonna sell
They're
to
not
them.
what they used to be.
They're better. But I'm also totally insane for no reason. Watch me shoot you in front of all these bad guys.
They aren't.
Clearly they're bad because they don't care.
Clearly they're bad because they're Nazis.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. So there's a chase to the helicopter. There's a really awkward briefcase fight in which they say, I'm going to...
You forgot to mention that he also
He
on the
also
suit.
puts on the
Yes.
suit super fast.
Is that
Oh,
just a
man.
thing they can do?
I think that's the real superpower here.
Yes.
Is you can just wear your clothes really, really fast. Maybe it has like a zipper on the back and you just like jump into it and like zip it up.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past that. I wouldn't put it past like it being a onesie, so to speak, because he did grab the whole suit.
Yeah, it's just
At
a
the
suit
beginning.
and a helmet, so
But
it
it's
must be a
like-
jump in.
But I mean, that thing's more battle ready, you know?
That's true.
And let's not forget, they bring this up in Ant-Man and the Wasp. The Ant-Man suit does not have any weapons.
Yeah, why doesn't it have any weapons?
I don't know.
Why doesn't he have a gun?
Maybe because of espionage.
Give
I don't
the
know.
man a gun.
Question: if you shrink down a gun, will it have the same
That's-
power?
Well, once it leaves, does it stay small?
You know what?
How
No. If
does-
it becomes a Looney Tunes thing where it grows really big after it leaves the bullet, after
Well,
it leaves
just
the
turn-
barrel.
It would turn to full bullet size, which isn't very big anyway.
Yes, but that bullet can murder people.
Of course, that's the whole point. You're a murderer now. Scott.
Yeah. So, yeah, awkward briefcase fight where he says, "I'm going to disintegrate you," and that's the only line said.
They haven't talked to each other in like 3 minutes of fighting, and they
I
just
don't
add
think
that to have Siri pull up a song that the guy had on his phone. That's the only way Siri plays songs.
Pandora.
No, like for Siri to detect and play a song, You need to have it in iTunes.
No, well, I'll,
You can't say, Siri, play this song on Pandora.
Are you gonna try it now? Are you trying that right now?
Hey Siri, play Disintegration by... Who was it?
They heard that.
Sorry, I couldn't find Disintegration in your music.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Play the song Disintegration on Pandora.
I can't play from Pandora.
There you have it. Science.
Well,
And this is new stuff. This wasn't back when that movie came out 500 years ago.
not even 5 years ago.
When did
Any-
it come out?
15, same year as Ultron, 2 months apart.
Oh,
Anyway.
okay.
Awkward fight in briefcase, land in pool.
Bad guy gets stuck in Bug Zapper and then screams really loud.
Before that, he tried to murder the barbecuing family?
He's just crazy at this point.
Yes, but
The moment you shrink, interacting with the
Okay,
evil
if you-
variant of the particles makes you cuckoo bananas.
okay, but I will admit, like, he tries to get Scott, but then Scott hits him with a ping pong paddle into the bug zapper.
Yeah, and there's some really
Which
good
one's-
back and forth fighting where they alter the size of the shot so you remember how tiny they are. Like when the train's about to hit him,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Like, you see the perspective of the girl while they're fighting there.
it's fun.
So yeah, then after that he gets arrested briefly, and then they're called to his ex-wife's house.
Because the villain escaped and is there, and he's like,
Because he knows
"I'm
where he
creepy."
lives.
I don't know. They Googled it.
On what?
When would he have Googled it? I don't know.
Why are you asking yourself these questions?
Doesn't make any sense.
So then they have a fight on Thomas the Tank Engine. It hits him. The Thomas Tank Engine hits Yellow
Wasp.
Jacket.
That's super funny. Oh, Yellow Jacket.
Wasp.
My bad. That's another
How
movie.
dare you? I'm so offended.
Yellow
Meh.
Jackets are not wasps.
Stupid.
Those are so similar, right?
They are not.
I mean, as far as bugs go,
Anyway,
you're like, this is a yellow jacket.
And
This is a wasp. If you get stung by either, you hate them.
I feel like this summary is much better than our Ultron one.
It is, but that movie was more complicated. This one's way easier.
Yes.
And really,
The,
in the end, he has to shrink between the molecules so that he can get in there and punch the electronics.
yes. And
That-
then he shrunk.
And then he just can't
And then
stop.
he. What was our note? It was a pun. To Intrinkity and Beyond. Intrinkity and Beyond.
Yes, he went off to the quantum realm, and
Apparently, while he's shrinking, you can see a brief thing of the wife of
Really?
of Ant-Man Sr.
you know, and
That part you can Google.
people also said that there was like some kind of Doctor Strange spoiler in the quantum realm scene,
I don't think there was.
but I never saw anything. Let me pause the recording really quick. I do want to look up the wife thing.
So we found it.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's like a
It-
shadow of the Wasp's outfit with the wings and things.
The original Wasp.
Yes, not the
Current.
mid-credit scene Wasp.
It's about dang time.
And
Let's keep it PG, family friendly, clean.
And she has no arms yet, so that we need to finish this suit.
Yeah, she only has wrists and shoulders.
Well, that's all you need
No
in a
pads.
shrinking suit.
Yep. So after that,
So then there's like hints for the tie-in to the Avengers universe.
well, actually, before that, he unshrinks himself
Oh,
by
yeah,
using the blue thing, the blue frisbee that makes him big.
Yep.
And he
He also doesn't remember.
technically, they do say that,
He
but
says he doesn't remember.
you're right. But at the same time, oh my goodness.
I don't know.
But
I'm
yeah.
just saying. Like he said he didn't remember, but they leave the ant giant, so they have a giant ant dog.
So it ends the same way as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, by having a giant ant.
Did the ant actually get giant?
I'm fairly certain they fed a giant turkey leg to something. Was it their dog?
Did they realize they solved world hunger?
I
In every shrinking and blowing up thing, like
technically no, because in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, they're trying to figure out how to increase the size of food. Increase the size of food, even though at the end of the first movie they have a giant turkey.
Huh.
Yep.
Plot holes.
Yep.
So let's talk about.
So
the
I
good
give
things
Honey
first.
I Blew Up the Kid 3 blown up babies.
Wow. I don't remember that movie at all. I do remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids pretty well.
It's just a giant toddler.
Wow.
It's just a giant toddler doing
That's
baby
it.
things.
Wow. So let's talk about good things in this movie. I think the main point we brought up briefly earlier.
Oh wait, we
is
completely
that,
forgot. Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
what?
We can save this for good things, like we are on now.
Yes, we did forget the thing that we're going to bring up right now.
Yes, which
Let me get to the Edgar Wright part first.
Yeah.
So Edgar Wright had a huge hand in the making of this movie, but it changed hands, and so a lot of it got adjusted. No one knows how much, but in 2017, 2 years later, he said in an interview that it was just due to creative differences. Like, he wanted to make an Edgar Wright movie, and they wanted to make a Marvel movie.
Which
Now,
Edgar Wright many people can say, like, oh, we parted way because of creative differences, and that is most probably not the answer in most cases. Edgar Wright, on the other hand, he's a very
hands-on? Like, he
like
really
he's-
needs a lot of the creative power to make what
yeah,
he wants to make.
he does make. I assume he makes a lot of the decisions. Like, I've only seen, what's it called?
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
I mean, and he also makes great movies that don't sell very well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know he made
Well, I
Baby
mean-
Driver, which did relatively well.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Any superhero movie nowadays, especially with the let's just not.
Are you
Okay,
saying-
not say nowadays because Fantastic Four bombed. Fan Four stick.
Yeah, it's not. You can't just say if it's in this genre, it automatically does well.
You're right, but if it's under the Marvel brand of Disney and Avengers, it will do well.
Maybe
Name one.
that didn't do well.
Like after the first Avengers came out.
Uh,
That's my point, Ben. That's my
But
point.
I will say, if Edgar Wright had had more control in this movie, would it have been better?
Okay, the thing is,
Or do we need some Marvel continuity in theme and style to
okay.
make the movie work?
I used to watch this movie news show called AMC Movie News on
Yeah.
YouTube. Eventually became Collider Movie Talk. And sorry, my mouth is very dry. And apparently one of them, some of these people, they've been a part of making movies, and apparently one of them got their hands on a leaked version of the
The
one of
leaked version of
the Edgar Wright script.
oh
Maybe not the Edgar Wright script, but he knew someone who did, and they said that it was the best Ant-Man script that anyone could come up with.
okay.
Can we pause?
So why wouldn't you use that? I don't know if it really would have made any difference. I mean, of course it may have been a better standalone movie, but it's got to fit into the universe. I mean, and they didn't do a ton to connect this movie to the universe.
I mean,
maybe that was Edgar Wright's doing.
Well, probably he wouldn't have wanted the Falcon Ant-Man fight, which is
Oh man, is that shoehorned?
is it shoehorned?
A horn for a foot.
Foot for horn.
Foot horned in.
Yes. And the thing is, I remember watching it and I'm like, this is cool. Because, realistically, you're not going to get any of the A-list guys. You're not going to get Bucky because he's not supposed to be anything canonical yet. He's not supposed to be in until Civil War. He's in hiding. And you're not going to get Iron Man because he's Iron Man.
And, well, Falcon knows the guy.
And the thing is, Falcon, he's like the cheapest Avenger to get on set.
Well, he's
I
relatively
figure.
new, right? He
Like, the
hasn't been in anything.
The only other
Did
guy...
he appear in Avengers 2? Oh, at the very end.
No, he appeared in it at the party, but that was it.
I thought he was at the very end, too. In Avengers...
Yes, you're right.
Not
He
assembled.
did do that. Yeah.
so yeah, that was a cool scene. When they're trying to get a part for something.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
the guy-
hunting for that little Lego brick that glowed blue for something.
Yeah.
I think it helped deactivate some sensor, whatever. It's the mini boss before you go to the final level.
Yeah. So that was a cool scene.
What else was good?
Just his whole training, because like that has to do with the shrinking and the growing,
And the ant control.
the ant controlling. Remember when he spins a penny with ants?
Yeah. You know, the thing with the ants, I know that's like the whole thing is he shrinks to the size of an ant and he controls ants, but why ants?
Well, that's.
Maybe that's a nitpick. We'll get there.
I feel like good things. I feel like this general part can be just nitpicks, good thing, bad thing. We can just have
just
it all.
do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm on board. So why the heck? Why not beetles? Why? Because there's so many more beetles.
I'll tell you
than there are
why.
ants.
Because that was already trademarked, Ben.
Like blue beetle.
Yes, Blue Beetle. I told you this during the movie.
You could have named them after the Beatles.
You got Blue Beetle. You got Batman. You got Spider-Man. You got Ant-Man. You got.
You got all the
What else is there?
butterfly boy. I made that up.
There has to be more. I know there's more.
Just say not all the cool bugs are gone.
Well,
I
the
mean,
thing,
what about like worms? Nope, those are terrible. That'd be awful. Ants are a good bug choice. There's a lot
Mosquitoes?
of varieties. They do some stuff.
Mosquitoes, flies,
Who
bees.
The Bee Movie.
Yes.
Do you like jazz? So, moving on, I think this
My
movie in general was a ton of fun.
My point-
Like, it was just a fun heist movie.
Yes, it was. But to answer your question about why ants, I think it's just to be on brand. In universe, does it make any sense to stay on brand? Probably not. Then again, I haven't read the comics. He probably does deal with other insects and such.
I don't know. It sounds like he's very into the ants. Like, got all the different variants of ants, doing all these
Well,
different things
Aquaman
based
doesn't
on
just
ants'
deal
needs.
with fish. He has octopus and
But it's aqua.
dolphins.
But he doesn't, like, also talk to salamanders or frogs. He's not like, I also control the amphibians.
You're right. Control the reptiles. Sea turtles, Ben.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
It wasn't in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It was
see,
in the
I think-
1960s.
That doesn't
When he said,
count.
like, he used his telekinetic powers to summon a giant sea turtle. That's what the announcer says. Though I do
Okay.
think they use turtles in the movie.
So, what else did you like about the movie? Anything? You had something else you wanted to bring up.
Like what?
I don't know. You said I will save it for the good things, and here
The
we
good
are.
thing was the Falcon fight.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm going to say we skipped over it during the summary.
Oh, we did. It's coming together. Okay, so something I wanted to just talk about in general about the movie,
Oh, yes.
and really, maybe this is a phase 2 discussion, but this movie is of a phase 1 movie, realistically. And the reason it's a phase 1 movie is because of its view on science versus magic. Over time, in the movies, we go from this everything you see that's magic is really science, and then we go over to a hard everything is magic, screw science.
Granted, but at the same time, they are using technology for this.
Yeah, so they're saying, oh, look at this near magical stuff. It's all science.
Oh,
in
trust me.
quotes.
Oh, trust me. I'm just thinking of like in the sequel, they say the word quantum so many times.
Well, the whole
Like,
thing
that's
is
the
focused
joke
on
in the
quantum.
movie. That's the joke in the movie.
It's true.
But
I mean, shoot, there's a point where he totally ruins, like, all the rules of the scientific rules about his suit make zero sense. Like,
he
I
shrinks
think-
smaller than an atom.
he shrinks smaller than an atom, but he's made of atoms? How does he breathe if he shrinks? What?
Maybe
if
he doesn't
If
wait.
the molecules stay the same size, how doesn't he, like, just fall through the floor because he's so heavy?
You know what?
How
Maybe there's something in the
does-
comics where they say like, oh, when he shrinks, he can call like his atoms also disappear, but he can when he grows, they can he can
Yeah, maybe there's something.
gravitate
But
toward him, and
I'm
when he
saying,
wants
like-
to be strong, he can put all those atoms into himself and then be dense.
But
Who knows?
They're going hard on the science side of it when it's a lot of it is very magic-ish.
If I'm
like,
being
I'm sending my brainwaves to the ants through my ear hole. Why is it an earpiece? Does he talk to them?
It's an
Does he listen to the ants?
It's a hearing aid.
But it's for ant control.
You know, he's old now. He probably thinks it's that. It's probably just a hearing aid.
Oh wow, that's really weird. So I think I'll probably touch more on that in the Phase 2 retrospective, but I just think it's an interesting trend to see, and this one kind of jumps back further, and so it also is another reason why it feels a little out of place at this point in the movie lineup. Universe.
Yeah. But
we've had three good Marvel movies in a row. Four good Marvel movies in a row. Right? We've got...
I feel like this is on, like... I feel like this isn't like, oh my gosh, go out, like, go get a copy of this, go see it, buy it on iTunes or whatever. It's more like, yeah, it's good. If it's on Netflix, watch it.
Pretty much. I think this movie...
More realistically, it's going to be on the Disney streaming service soon.
This rose the bar for a medium Marvel movie. Like, this is a good movie. It's a very medium Marvel movie. Right? It's like right in the middle of the heap. We had some... Like, we had a low point.
Okay, like,
at the beginning of the phase.
I feel like... after Thor Ragnarok, every single movie is a positive experience.
Agreed. But
like, that's...
We're totally going into Phase 2 material, so let's hold off. I just want to talk more about this movie. I think the bad guy is just crazy bananas evil. He's like, I hate goodness. I have pointy ears.
I literally kill sheep and lambs because I'm so evil.
I can't tell the difference between a mouse and a lamb.
I'm very confused while watching Ratatouille.
I will disintegrate you. So, okay.
Also, side note, he looked like someone that used to go to our church.
It's true. So.
It was uncanny.
It is. It's very true. So.
If anyone from our church is listening, you know who I'm talking about, hopefully.
Yes.
Remember the very bald guy.
The very bald one. So, let's briefly talk about character development in this story. I think there's two main story arcs. One is Scott's redemption arc, going from bad to good.
Yeah.
Which kind of just happens along the way.
Do you really buy Paul Rudd ever being a bad guy?
No, but he did want to stick it to the man. And then that need goes away as he makes a positive value to society through his Ant-Man powers. That's what I thought. That's kind of his arc, is I don't have to stick it to the man anymore. I can be good for the system, whatever. And then the other real story is Hope and her accepting her father and the loss of her mother because the dad actually tells her how she disappeared.
Yeah, because
Why would you hold that information back when you already know you can shrink? You already know he can shrink.
Well, I feel like...
It's just too hard.
Okay, I feel like that should have been something that...
No, I can't tell.
Yeah, because like, I'm just trying to protect you.
No, protect you from the truth. No.
I feel... Okay, the thing is, in the sequel, at the beginning of that one, it shows her when she's a kid, and just before she the daughter loses the mother. My point is, at that point, it wouldn't be the right time to tell them. But eventually, after you tell your daughter, oh hey, I had this Ant-Man thing, and
you are the best at controlling ants. Stop, Hope, stop! Your powers are too strong!
Ah! The Avatar state of ants! The Antitar state!
The ants are blocking the sun! Oh man.
Now's our chance, Earthbenders!
Ah, see, there it is.
Now's our chance, Beetlebenders.
All the Beetle boys come together. Assemble the 4 Beatles.
The 4 Beatles of the apocalypse.
We're the Beatles of the apocalypse. That's the whole joke. Okay. Go for it. You gotta do it now.
Luke.
That's even close.
Luke, I am your father.
Wow. That's so many layers away from the Beatles. Okay, so...
Yeah, I had a bad thing to say about this movie, and that it's... You know what? I'm too tired right now. Forget it.
Okay, we will forget the bad thing.
Maybe
I think it's time for an overall review. I myself, I want to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Disintegrations by The Cure. I think that was this artist.
Now you have to ask Siri to play Disintegration by The Cure.
I don't have it. We already did the science. So, I think it's a good movie in that it's fun. It receives a C+, right? So,
okay.
it's in general a good time, but it doesn't, like, wow me in any way, and it doesn't move the universe.
Well, apparently, phase, like, the rest of the MCU has a lot to do with the quantum realm and things coming from there. So maybe technically it does, but as of right now, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a long burn if that's the case.
Yes.
How about you?
So, I think I'm going to give this movie 7 giant Thomas the Tank Engines out of 10. Why did we do this?
It's important. Just go on.
So thank you for joining us.
Totally crushes the whole thing.
This is going to be the outro song for our entire podcast from now on.
I like it. I think we're going for it.
So, continue on us with next time.
Edits.
No edits.
I love it. Keep going.
Continue on us with us as we go on to Civil War, as we journey on the road to Endgame.
Perfect.
This is great.